So we're here at Juice Beauty today, doing a event. Let's get that more centered, there we go. Doing an event with Gwyneth Paltrow. It'll be really fun. If you guys don't know, Juice Beauty is a really great organic skincare brand, and they have some great stuff. I have these, I believe they're called like green apple peel pads, and it's almost like this fruit enzyme peel for your face, and it's really gentle, leveraging fruit enzymes. So a really fun event today. I got here just a little bit early. My car's not big enough for vlogging, I swear. It's like I run into the windows. It's just a little too much of a sporty shape, I think. But I'm here a little bit early. It's raining outside, but luckily I was able to park pretty much right in front of the building. And I'll take you with me and we'll get to meet Gwyneth Paltrow. So it'll be really fun. I'm really excited for it. And then of course show you all the great Juice Beauty goodies, so you guys can try some things too. There's a new cleanser that they have that I really want to try, and also another serum that I've really been looking forward to trying, so hopefully we'll get to try this today.
For the brand. This is Karen Benke, the founder, if you didn't get to meet her already. Jenny from my team, and Steven in the back, and say hi. And obviously Gwyneth needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever. And a lot of these girls drove long and waited downstairs a long time because we were doing stuff. So thank you guys for being so patient.
We did have a little champagne though.
They did. Yes, I liquored them up for you. So
and there's food over here if anybody wants to just grab some food.
Soak up the alcohol.
Exactly. So a lot of you guys were super sweet and submitted some questions. I know everyone's like super eager to pick her brain on all things beauty and everything that she has going on. So I have some of them, but feel free if you have anything that you guys want to ask. This is like a friendly place, open, like feel free to ask. So I'm just gonna kick it off.
Go right ahead.
We've done this before. So I'm gonna start with a fun one, because we all know that you like to sing. So what is your favorite karaoke song?
God, that's a really good question. Probably, well, I have a friend in LA who has a karaoke. Every time they have a party, they have a karaoke party with like a real band.
Oh, wow.
And which is so weird, but they have like a repertoire of songs. And I like to sing Crazy by Patsy Cline normally. But because I did this song Forget You on Glee like a bunch of years ago, people are always asking me to sing that as my karaoke song.
It's a good song.
I mean, at this point, it's like, let's move on.
Gwyneth, you had that great movie though, where you played a rock star, which I love.
Oh, thank you.
That
the country one?
Yes, that was really great. And you sang all your own songs in that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That was great. If anyone downloads that, it's really great.
Okay. Now, what kind of music do you like to listen to for relaxation?
Well, it seems counterintuitive, but hip hop, because when I cook, I really relax when I cook, and I like to listen to hip hop when I cook, so somehow it's become very relaxing to me, even if it's like super aggressive gangster rap or something.
I'm right there with you.
I find it relaxing.
There's something about like the relief, like just being able to like
But
dance.
in the car, I like to listen to classical music.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It keeps my road rage.
So if you're not road raging, what would you say is like your happy place then? If you're just like chilling, like where do you want to?
I like being home. I love being at home with my kids. I'm totally a homebody. I think that's my happiest place. Yeah.
So speaking of your kids, actually, because I feel like everyone's been really curious to like pick your brain about Apple, because she's gorgeous, A. You know, has she been like a big inspiration to everything that you've been doing in the beauty world?
Oh my gosh, she is like the hair and makeup girl in our house, if you can believe it. And
How old is she?
she's 12. She lives for hair and makeup, and it's on YouTube all day, like watching all you guys. And
are any of you guys on YouTube doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say some of you guys.
and she's super. In fact, when I was first showing her the collection that we did for Juice Beauty, she's like, "Well, where's the contouring and the strobing?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And we literally had to like make her contouring and strobing, which is great, and it's all clean and really beautiful. But she's it's just incredible to have a girl that is she knows herself so well. She's so sweet and so smart, and she's such an amazing combination. But she's definitely like the hair and makeup. She did a play last weekend, and she was in Hairspray the musical, and she played the Michelle Pfeiffer part, like the mean mom. And so Glam Squad came over and did her hair and makeup. And so we put out all the Juice Beauty makeup for her to use, and I'll show you this picture. It is so crazy. I was like, I've never seen her in full hair and makeup before, like this, like professional. It's
Wow!
Oh my God!
Now, you are going to have to protect her.
I know. I'm like, oh my God.
You want that every day.
I know, but it's clean makeup, Karen.
It's beautiful though. Can I say her eyes are just the way they're set
Yeah.
are the most stunning, unusual, just beautiful.
I know.
Took my breath away the first time I did it.
Does she want to follow in Mom's footsteps?
Unfortunately, I think, we'll have another actress on our hands, but we'll see. She may, she may go to MIT or something, fingers crossed. She may be an engineer or a lawyer. A mom can dream, but we'll see.
We always ask about your daughter. We always ask about Apple, but what about your son? What is he like? What does he want to do?
He is, oh my God, he's literally, first of all, the nicest person in the entire world. And he's very sensitive. He's a huge EQ. Like, he can feel what's going on, with anybody around him. I don't know what he's gonna do. It's really interesting. It's like, he was very into music for a while, and now, like, they're doing a stock market project at school, and he's getting very into finance.
Wow.
He's playing this. He has an app called Adventure Capitalist. Playing this app. I have literally no idea what he's gonna do. Like, he's gonna surprise us, I think.
That makes me feel really bad about myself. Adventure Capitalist, I know nothing about
That's
this.
crazy.
Oh my God.
I mean, honestly, like, he's met everyone in the world, like all these famous people, but like if a Goldman Sachs banker he's like, no way. Goldman Sachs. I don't know. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh.
It's so weird.
I know your kids are obviously like such a huge part of your life. You talk about them nonstop. I've actually been in an interview with you, and your phone rang, and you said, "I have to stop the interview for a second. I have to go take this. It's my daughter." And it like literally.
She FaceTimes me like
amazing.
15 times a day. I'm
But you took the phone call. How do you balance it all? I mean, you're like constantly on a plane. You're doing this. You're doing that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I have to say, it's like to have 2 kids and to have a business and then also to have like other, like our Juice Beauty collaboration. Mm-hmm. So that also takes a lot of care and time. And it's hard, I just really try to do one thing at a time, because for a while I really was trying to, like help with math while cooking, while like being on an Excel spreadsheet, and I was like, I'm doing everything badly. So now I really just try to do what's in front of me and kind of do one thing at a time, because that is, to me, the antidote to stress. I feel like if it's one thing, then I can deal with it. But when I start piling it all on, and you know, what's great as well is I'm so in my office routine now, so that's really, I don't travel as much as I used to travel. So I drop my kids, I exercise, I go to my office, then I go home, you know, so, and I still have to travel some, but it's nowhere near what it was like before when I was constantly active.
So being in the moment.
I'm sorry?
Being in the moment,
Yeah.
I guess. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of beauty questions. I got a lot of those, so I'll try to get to all of those as I can.
Okay.
Obviously,
I'll talk
we're here for beauty.
Okay.
But everyone kind of wanted to know if there were 3 beauty products that you couldn't live without, what would they be?
Oh, only 3?
Yeah. Maybe more, but
Like makeup or makeup? I'll stick with makeup.
that'll make sense.
This primer, the Juice Beauty primer, is like my complete secret weapon. I mix it with moisturizer, and it just makes my skin, like, I don't know how it works, but it's really amazing. So I would say that, the concealer and mascara are kind of my 3. I feel like if I have those 3 things, like, I can sort of look presentable.
The mascara actually is insane.
Is really good.
It's really, really good. It actually just won an award that I can't talk about yet.
That's exciting.
It won an award for best mascara, like out of all the mascaras.
Against conventional.
It's
Wow.
really, really good.
It's our #1 best-selling makeup product on Goop.com.
Wow.
Is Juice Beauty mascara.
The mascara?
Wow.
Wow. What does beauty mean to you?
God, that's a hard
question.
Like physical beauty, or?
Doesn't have to be.
I mean, you know, to me, like, when a woman honestly feels good, it's so beautiful and compelling. I always say, like, I am obsessed with Diane von Furstenberg. I think she's like the most beautiful woman, because when you get within like 10 feet of her, you can feel how like in love with herself she is in the best way. Like, not in an ego-y way, but she's just so sensual and confident, and she's mesmerizing, and it's that, you know, it's that, like, I love myself. And it's hard to get there, you know, it's hard to get there, but she's definitely gotten there.
Before I go on, is there anything that anyone wants to jump in and ask?
I have a question about, did you find when your kids were little, because now, right, they're like both in school.
Yeah.
Did you find that it was harder to do all the things maybe that you're doing now? Like, is there kind of a times and seasons thing?
It was really hard for me when they were home. I think, like, kids going to school is, because you forget that you, like, had a life, and, you know, like sex, or like having a drink with your friends, or whatever. It's like you're just kids, and then when they go to school and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a person, whoa, like, what do I want to do with my life? I think that it was really, like, and I was really lucky because I could take off a whole bunch of time when they were little, and so I didn't work at all for 3 years, which a lot of moms, like, can't afford to do that. And I look back at those 3 years and I feel so grateful that I was able to. But that's all I did. Like, there's no way I could, you know, I couldn't have done what I'm doing now when they were that age. And when they went to school, you know, first it's like for a couple hours, and then you're like, oh, and then, you know, the school day gets longer as they get older. And now it's like they fully have these super full lives, and, you know, I'm very important to them, but in a way, like, become this ancillary thing. Like, they have their friends, their activities, their sports, their schedule. And so I feel more freed up to pursue my own business interest or artistic interest or cultural, or whatever it is, because their lives are full and they just need you in a different way. It really changes as they, you know, it's like when they're little like that, if you're not there, they are going to like commit suicide by accident. So the stakes are really high. And when they're older, you know, they're very aware of their safety and whatever, but emotionally they need you a lot more. So it really changes.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
I have a 10-month-old and an almost 3-year-old.
Oh, wow.
But I just like, I see someone like you who's doing so much, and I personally sometimes feel like I am like that kind of conflict of wanting to, you know, give my kids my full attention. I never want to feel like I'm not doing that, but then feeling that kind of anxiety about putting your own goals on hold.
Yeah, I completely understand. I think, look, that young stage is so finite, and you know, I think that's the thing to keep in mind, but also to not suppress your own needs. And you know, I as my kids started to get older and I felt that push-pull, I remember saying to my therapist, like, I feel so guilty that I want to, you know, start working. And she was like, but it's so much a part of who you are and what makes you you. And she said, you know, they always tell you on the airplane, like, if the oxygen mask comes down, put your own one on first, because you can't do anything if you're not getting oxygen yourself. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. And also the main thing is, like, never judge yourself, never judge another mother. Like, everybody's doing the best they can, everybody does it their own way. And I think we can get really critical of ourselves too in the process. And it's not necessary, you know, you just have to go easy on yourself and know that you're really doing the best you can. That's sort of how I dealt with it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Can I go back? Anything else before I go? So we're here for Juice Beauty, obviously in the headquarters. I think one thing that we'd all love to know is how did you get into kind of the organic scene, clean beauty, like what really attracted to it? It's obviously not just, you know, about makeup for you, it's a lifestyle.
Right, so it started with food, basically what happened was my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and he was like the closest person to me, and so I was in a complete panic, and I started researching, like, why do people get this? What can you do? Like, is it true that sugar feeds cancer? Like, I just started reading everything that I could to understand if there was anything we could do to help him heal or to get rid of it. And I was really surprised to learn how much environmental toxins impact our health, and how pesticides are, you know, classified as carcinogens or probable carcinogens by the WHO, and they still spray it all over our food. That they spray fire retardant on everything, and it's one of the most toxic things that's, you know, well, it's not on here because we're in Juice Beauty, but like it's on everything. And so I started to panic because I thought, like, wow, we really don't have autonomy over our own health, because there are things that are disrupting our hormones and that are really compromising our immunity. So I got super into organic macrobiotic food, and I tried to get my dad to, like, eat more healthy food, and I think he equated, like, not having sugar and not having, you know, like, I think he equated eating better with being sick, so he really didn't want to. Like, he wanted to just be back to normal and, like, eat a Nathan's hot dog. And so, like, when he died, I had Apple probably, you know, very quick, you know, I think it was under a year, less than a year after he died. And I was so careful, like, with her food, and, you know, not wanting her mattress to be full of chemicals, because so many of them are, and you know, I would make her baby food in my little blender thing, but meanwhile, I remember, like, this one night I was giving her a baby, I took this, like, baby massage class, and I was giving her a baby massage with this, like, really fragrant cream, and I was like, all of a sudden I was like, wait, what is, like, why does it smell so, what is this? Like, what am I putting? And then I read the back, and then I was like, this is like nothing that I've ever heard. I don't think this is good. And then I started researching it, and then I was like, okay, wow, so I only put organic stuff on her, and like organic pharmacy diaper cream and everything organic. But meanwhile, I was still putting all kinds of chemicals on myself, not really making that connection. So it's been like a very long, slow, authentic, organic process to getting to the place where I'm like, wait a minute, you know, a whole bunch of my friends couldn't get pregnant. You know, a whole bunch of girls are like going through puberty way early. That we have so many endocrine disruptors in our personal care products. Like, is nobody, you know, putting this together? And maybe this is impacting our health and development and female cancers. And so I think as we're going to see a lot more research come out around it. But I just felt I feel very passionately that women deserve a better option. And for a long time, you know, even though I was eating organic food, I was also a totally vain actress and like wanted creams that worked or makeup that worked, and I couldn't go to the health food store and buy something that I wanted to put on. So I was like, there's a real disconnect here, which is why I was so excited to work with Juice when I got the opportunity, because I said, look, I really want to come and do this, but it has to be as good as, like, you know, I'm not going to say the brands, but, you know, like, it has to be as good as X, Y, and Z. And if you can promise me that, like, we won't stop until it's as good as any benchmark, then I want to do it. And they were like, that's exactly what we want to do. So we were, you know, I feel really, really good about these products because, you know, we worked so hard to create something that it's not like, hey, we're doing something good for the world, so you should buy it. It's like, no, we're making awesome makeup, and it happens to not hurt you. So yeah, long answer, sorry.
That's okay. What was the coolest part of helping to develop a cosmetic line?
I learned a lot. I learned how hard it was to make product that feels good without, you know, parabens in it, and
Don't leave.
I know she's getting hungry, so.
we're a breastfeeding
Yeah.
family.
Breastfeed away. It's all good.
And yeah, it's really hard to make great products that are, you know, don't have plastics in them to make them slip, and, you know, don't have synthetic dyes to give them a lot of color. Like, it's really, really hard to get that kind of pigment in a lip gloss with all natural.
I was going to ask what has been the most challenging part of creating organic makeup?
I mean, I think even from my perspective, even more difficult than pigment is the slip and the feel and the coverage of, like, the primer and the foundation, because so much of the natural stuff is like cakey and dry and just doesn't stay, and it's like no woman is going to use that, you know, like, we're just not. So to get something that's over 70% organic, that's like so beautiful that, you know, when my makeup artists are like, oh my god, you know, and they love it, and so it really does, like, sit shelf to shelf with anything.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Are you guys all familiar with the line now?
Yes.
Downstairs, everyone got to walk you through. If there was, I'm going to ask you guys a question. If there was a product out there that you just had to have, but you could have a clean version, what would it be? Give us some, like, ideas.
That you don't already have.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
It's
what
a
else
hard
is
one.
there? We did the strobing for Apple.
You did do the strobing. You did do the strobing.
Do you have fragrance?
I do on
Does have fragrance,
Goop.
yeah.
I do fragrance again, like with the whole ethos that we have here at Juice and at Goop. It's incredible. When I was doing research into fragrance, under the word fragrance, it's like a Trojan horse. They can literally put anything in there and not disclose it. And we were like, this just doesn't seem right. Like, because when you start to peel back the layers, they're real toxins in fragrance and synthetic fragrance, and again, like, we want beautiful perfume, but we don't necessarily want to like just put lavender oil on. Like, isn't there? So we worked really hard to develop these really beautiful. One is out already, and there's one for every season, but they're really complex and gorgeous and completely natural. We've done the reverse, so we've complete transparency and listed every single ingredient that's in there. The base is a non-GMO sugar, cane alcohol, and then all of the way in which they extract the fragrance is all natural, and so yeah, we're really proud of that one.
I recently started to get into the slow fashion movement, and I'm really interested to hear your take on how you balance that. There's many similar toxins in lots of dyes and things like that we're wearing every day.
Right.
And obviously you also wear tons of high-end designer clothing, so like how do you balance that, or do you?
Yeah, you know, that's like the next frontier of cleaning up, you know, because at this point, you know, one of my very close friends is Stella McCartney, and she's really conscious about what she uses in her clothes, and she's one of the very few, and she's really the only really high-end fashion designer who does that, and so I wear a lot of Stella, and it's funny, you know, it's like now I see, and like we had a shop, one of our sort of featured shops on Goop that was called Brands That Give a Shit, and but that's what it was called, and I didn't name it that, but you know, it's true. And it was really interesting to say, like, we really want to build this featured shop, let's go find the brands that aren't using, and it was so hard, and we ended up finding some amazing brands, and we carry them, but I really do think that's the next frontier, because people don't think about it. It's the same with organic cotton. You know, over 90% of all the cotton in this country is sprayed with glyphosate. It's GMO cotton that they then spray, and we do absorb it. Yeah. So it's funny, I was having this conversation the other day because we recently started doing apparel at Goop, and like what was most important to me starting out was you know, to me, the sort of disposable fashion thing is hard because you're encouraging waste and you're encouraging less than ideal labor conditions normally, and it's a tough, you know, we all appreciate that price point, but there can be downsides to fast fashion, and so I really wanted to create elevated basics that you would have forever. The idea is you don't throw it out, you know, and that it was beautiful quality and made in Italy, and that we were passing on that direct-to-consumer, that we were using that direct-to-consumer model, so we weren't marking it up 6 or 8 times, we were just, you know, passing it on to the consumer, really beautiful quality. And then just recently I was like, well, but what are the dyes? Like, it's so funny that you're bringing this up now. And then so now we're talking about like finding surplus of fabric to make clothes, and trying to find, but it's crazy, it's so expensive. So organic cotton that's not sprayed is so expensive. And so, you know, we're hoping that as people get more conscious, then they'll make more unsprayed cotton, and then the price goes down. But it's really interesting. These are conversations that we're having right now, and we're really trying to be conscious about how we produce our apparel going forward. So what do you look for, like, in?
Well, I mean, it's something, I worked in the fashion industry for 10 years, and so it's, for me, it's something I've just found and gotten into, and I'm kind of appalled at, like, what I've been a part of for the last 10 years, and I would say that the fast fashion thing is probably the #1 thing, like, the whole idea of consumerism in the first place, and how we just buy too much, and we throw too much away, and we all have that bag or that box or that drawer in our house that's like, should we sell it, should we dump it, like, what should we do? And so #1 for me is, like, consume less. Stop being a consumer and just be smarter. But to the kind of opposite point of a lot of people is that like, I don't want to sacrifice style.
Right.
And I don't want to sacrifice like not being able to wear red because we can't get that red dye right. And so I think like I don't have an answer either. I just like it's a internal thing for me where I sew a lot and I design a lot, and that's sort of my kind of answer.
That's so cool.
But I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know somebody else.
So, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, last question.
No, go ahead.
What would be your best advice for all of us women who are entrepreneurs and building our own brand?
First of all, congratulations to all of you, because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to rise above all the noise, and the fact that you're all here proves that you've done that, and it's not easy to do, so congratulations to all of you. And you know, I think, like, honestly, just whatever your values are, people have responded to you so far because you resonate with them, and your values resonate with them. And when you stray from the DNA of what you are, that you know that people came to you for, to explore X opportunity or Y opportunity, people feel it. I think like steadfast authenticity, belief in yourself. And for me, like, I just have sort of this imaginary bullseye of where I'm going, and it's really, really far in the future. But I just really focus on where I want to go. And sometimes even the how I'm going to get there, I don't even know. But my intention is really clear on where I'm going. And I think that's kind of everything, like self-belief, intention, and authenticity. Those have been the things that have like been my best friends as I've continued to build my business. And don't look to the side, you know, like I am not competitive with anybody else. Like I don't even, like my friends who are doing similar things, I help everybody I can, especially other women. I think that everybody is a complete unicorn, so nobody can really take away what you have. And I think building a community, you know, like all of you are a community, and you can all help each other, you can all bounce ideas off of each other. And when you lose that feeling of competition, the world becomes so expansive in its possibilities.
Thank you. Sure. So we have the opportunity to do some quick pictures, guys, and we have some stations back there if you want to grab. There's some light bites if you want to hang. I know that we have to get you rolling to the airport at some point. So do we want to, yeah, if anyone wants a picture, yeah?
These shoes make me like 20 feet tall. So I apologize.
Can you show us your shoes? Yeah, let's see them.
No, they're Giuseppe's.
Okay.
I don't know.
Giuseppe's Zanatti. Had a wonderful event with Gwyneth Paltrow and had a really fun time. She's super nice, and you guys saw the whole interview. And it's really interesting to get her perspective on beauty and makeup and all that stuff, and just life in general. So it was a really fun event. And yeah, it's really cool to kind of see someone that you've seen in movies and you know, in other beauty campaigns and things, and see them in person, and how at the end of the day we're all the same, just real people, and we all have the same things that we worry about and that kind of stuff. So it's just really cool. But anyway, thanks for coming with me today, you guys, and hope you enjoyed the interview with Gwyneth Paltrow, and I'll see you later. Bye.